Good afternoon. Welcome in, Flaniverse friends and family. We got a very special guest, Greg, over there at the CSI, I like to call it, the Coachspeak Index, to really share some of that alpha, because this is it, everybody. This is our last chance to go to Kansas City. We've been close. We've been staying at the Heartbreak Hotel lately, but this is the week. I feel it with Greg as our guest today. With Neil's expertise, we are going to be able to put it all together this week and punch that ticket to Kansas City. But first of all, Greg, how you doing? Thanks a lot for joining us. How was your week 11 and overall?
Yeah, pretty okay. Week 11, ended up finishing 8th in Dawg Bowl. Thanks to Ladd McConkey putting up a real stinker. If I get like a 30-yard touchdown from him, I'm making plans to eat some barbecue in KC.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way it goes. Had 18 bullets last week. Got one super close.
Yeah, good for you. Is that roughly what you've been playing? Kind of.
It's just kind of whatever, like however much time I have. Some weeks it's like 7 that I can get in. Some weeks it's like I think about 20 or 22 is the most I've been able to do.
Yeah. Yeah, do you play a lot of the 6-mans too, or are you been just doing the 12 just to try to punch a ticket?
Yeah, just Dawg Bowl. Just
Nice.
Dawg Bowl for me.
Cool, man. Yeah, I've been seeing in the lobbies the last couple of weeks, kind of early in the week too, right? Kind of you like to get in a little early.
Yeah, I like to get on Tuesday. I feel like the ADPs are a little bit more off on Tuesday, I guess, before a bunch of the big sites put out their projections. So last week it was, last week was, Christian Watson was going to the last round and pretty much the entire week. That was one that I thought he might bump up some, and it didn't happen. And I was just jamming him as much as I could. I felt like Woody Marks. I know he ended up having a bad game, but opened with an ADP of like in the late 40s or something against Tennessee. So I got a decent amount of him. That did not turn out great, but I felt like Kenneth Walker was one for this week. Not to jump ahead too far, but he's already getting kind of pulled up by all the red badges.
Yeah. Well, you're sharing the alpha on your Discord.
Yeah. I gotta. If I had no scruples, I would put things in there like Mike McDonald just said. He'll never play Kenneth Walker another down of football.
Some head fakes.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Well, I can't wait to start talking about week 12 with you, because you've already been throwing some nuggets in your Discord. So. And feel free to shout out that anytime you want during the stream. But yeah, we'll pass over to Neil. Pass you the ball, man. How was your week 11?
It wasn't really great. I loved the draft boards. I was excited about it all week. I was like, oh, there's so many fun angles to play, so many ways you can play this. And the one that I had the thought of like, it would be super fun to just take the best onesies, because I was like, there's 2 that really separate. There's Josh Allen really separates at quarterback. Trey McBride really separates at tight end. You could just do those in the first couple rounds and then try to make things work late. And I like had that idea, and I was like, I bet a lot of people are doing that, like having that exact thought of like, what if I just take the elite onesies and then work it out from there? And I don't know that I actually played it, and I wish I had played that one, because that is clearly what went well. But I was mostly into, I really like Kamani Vidal last week. He got hurt. I was super into Jaylen Warren, was like my biggest stand. He got hurt. Josh Jacobs got hurt. Just like you kind of needed to avoid the landmines last week, and I didn't do a great job of that. And also I posted in the Mathology's Maniacs channel, I had a draft that I just like lucked into Bijan Robinson at like 7 or 8, and then Josh Allen come back, and then Kyron Williams in the 3rd round. And I was like, oh, that is the nuts. And I dropped the baby with that one. I took Khalil Shakir and I took Jonnu Smith and got, I think 0.7 or something out of those 2 combined. And just, the drafts that started well didn't end well. So I never really had a sweat last week. Did you have any sweats, Math?
Not really. I mean, if I did my swaps better, I would have came in 5th, because I had a Bijan Tat with some other good pieces. I think Kittle was in there too, and I swapped a Ricky instead of Marv's replacement there,
Michael Wilson.
Michael Wilson. If I swapped to Michael Wilson, I would have came in 5th. But what are you gonna do? I kind of thought that for some reason I thought that Ricky might have been a little bit more sneaky, but I guess not. He was like 70% owned, so I kind of played that one bad. I kind of leaned more in the projections on than I probably should have on Sunday instead of just going after low ownership. That's probably a better way of playing it. But I, like you, Neil, I stepped on so many landmines. Man, I stepped on so many. I was big on Kansas City. That was just the biggest dud of a game by Mahomes. I really thought for sure he would come out slinging and throwing some dimes out there, and it wasn't the case. That Denver defense just really took his lunch.
Immediate deep shot to Worthy, right?
Yeah, that's what I thought was going to happen. I go, they're going to throw it deep to Worthy early in the game. Just if that hits, and we got the wide receiver slate that we got, which was really piss poor up top. Yeah. And those, because that's kind of how I drafted a lot of RBs early, hoping that I can get the elite RB scores, which I kind of got, but I just didn't get any of those 3, 4, 4, 5 wide receivers to hit, other than that couple of tet lines that I had. So, but yeah, we move on. We step on landmines. Luckily, this is an actual war, and we can we can click the enter button for week 12. And we can learn a lot from Greg here today of what he's seeing, as he is the man that knows the coaches the best, and we can get on the best plays for week 12. So right. That's what we'll do now. I'll share my screen, Greg, if you want to, or Neil, and we'll just kind of start at the quarterback position here in a second. And so again, these are really moving ADPs right now on the quarterback position, as everything was kind of moved up in the first round, and we're going to start seeing these guys push round 2, round 3, moving forward. But Greg, anything that is sticking out to you from that Hurts all the way down to Mahomes? You think we got to be jockeying these up a little bit, moving up Drake May over Lamar, or Lamar over Hurts, or Drake May over everybody?
I think I would prefer Drake May over Lamar. The coaches don't seem to have much urgency as far as like getting Lamar involved in the running game. Same kind of thing with Philly right now. And Kevin Patullo had a press conference today where he talked about it. He was like, we have these plays where he can run with it, or he can pass the ball. And last year was kind of more run. This year it's more pass, and like it's working out for them. Drake May just has an insane matchup against an all-time terrible defense this week. It for me, it's just like, well, how many points do they put up until they pull them from the game? Like how big of a lead do they jump out to?
Yeah. What do you see, Neil? What's your kind of gut instincts? As I just drafted with you before the stream, on my drive home. I did a little drafting and driving. Don't tell the cops. Getting home from work, and I saw you in the lobby there. What are you thinking?
Yeah, so I've only done 3 or 4 drafts. I think I've taken Jalen Hurts in one of them. Love the matchup with Dallas. I've taken Drake May in one of them. Love that matchup with Cincinnati. So I kind of do like the quarterbacks at the top better this week in general. I think we have more depth at the top. Like there's not, last week it was like Josh Allen just stood out like a sore thumb as like the clear best play. This week I think it's a little bit flatter, where like you can make a case for Hurts or May, to some extent Lamar Jackson, because I think that Jets defense is really bad, and probably they just do it on the ground, but you never really know. So I think Jackson's strong, and then Mahomes in a game where they might get pushed by that Colts offense, Mahomes is going to look good again. So I think we do have more depth this week at the top, but I'm also I've mostly weighted at quarterback, as I usually do. If they don't fall to me just where I want them, I'm always willing to wait and take shots on some of the dart throw quarterbacks at the end. I think we have several quarterbacks. I think it's deep at the top, but also like deep in terms of there are 15, 16 viable quarterbacks, and then there's kind of a cutoff, I think, where there's also a number of quarterbacks that I just have zero interest in on this slate.
Interesting Q tag. It seems like everyone's clicking dart right now, either staying on the clock, or they think he's got a good shot to go. Is there anything that we should be paying attention in Giant Land there, Greg?
Well, they talked a little bit yesterday. The interim coach, Mike Kafka, did about like, are you guys going to pull the reins back on Jackson Dart? And there was that report that went around, I think it was on Sunday, saying that they were going to rein him in, or they definitely want him to be more careful. But Kafka's saying, you want him to be who he is. Like, he's an aggressive guy. Like, we just want him to be really smart, right? We want him to know when to slide. We want him to know when he's it's third and long and he's scrambling for a first down. Like, how do you end that play, right? You don't do it by like going head first into a guy. So I don't think the running stuff is going to be off the table completely for him. And you would think like he'll probably be back this week from concussion protocol. But yeah, I mean, I think it's a worthwhile kind of click.
Yeah. Implied to just about 20. So it's a little bit below usually my cutoff for quarterbacks. I usually try to target quarterbacks that are going to apply for three plus touchdowns. Historically, how I play it. So, but with that rushing, like you said, it's an interesting spot. It's a high team total. The only thing is, Detroit's heavy favorite. So it's maybe a game that might not pop unless the Giants can get up early. This is kind of how I'm tracking that one. I like Dak quite a bit against this Eagles game. This one seems kind of fun to me in a dome. High and tight, 48.5 point total, and they're dogs at home. So I think that one could be fun. I've been clicking some Dak when I can get him kind of in that fourth round. Same thing with Goff. A little bit with Caleb. I kind of like that. So I've been kind of waiting a little bit on quarterback. I've been doing a lot of like fifth, sixth round Daniel Jones, just because, again, it's a high and tight game environment. I do worry about Spags really shutting down the Colts a little bit because he's really good about making you play left-handed. Taking away JT is going to be his main focus, getting them down in distance, and a lot of exotic blitz looks for Jones, which we know he kind of historically has struggled, but maybe on the flip side, there could be some layup targets. So that's why I've been a little bit more, when we get to the tight end position, I've been getting a little bit more on the Warren play at tight end. I think he could be in a good little spot here for us to target. So some of the things I'm thinking about early week as we're just getting going in the drafting season. Kind of round out quarterback, Neil. What are you seeing down here? What are you thinking?
I mean, I think Sam Darnold, pretty intriguing where he's going in drafts. Like, just he's been really good this year. He just had the 4 interception game, and I think we're getting him at a discount as a result. If he just had an average game in the last game, I think Sam Darnold would kind of pop here. Now, I think the general assumption is they're just going to run all over Tennessee. Like, you don't really need to throw in Tennessee, which is a totally reasonable assumption, obviously. But Darnold, there's a lot of ways you can stack him up. So I kind of like him with JSN. I like Rashid Shaheed. You can put Cooper Kupp in there if you want. So I do think Sam Darnold is kind of a fun back of the board click. Flacco singles with T. Higgins, I think is fine. Trevor Lawrence, I think there's a lot of ways you can stack up Lawrence this week as well. So those 3 are kind of jumping off the page to me toward the end. I don't think I'm going back to my boy JJ McCarthy this week, unfortunately. I almost want to go to Kirk Cousins, just like condensed, like back of the. I'll probably just take his receiving weapons instead. Just go with Pitts and Mooney, but I have thought about maybe some Kirk Cousins. But yeah, mostly those are my targets there. Yeah,
he hasn't been drafted yet, so I think we're over at 10%. So if anything, he's going to be very low owned. Good shout out there. Greg, what are you hearing in Green Bay with probably Jacobs missing? Are we going to see a little bit more, passing the ball? Are we going to see maybe a spike week out of Love potentially? What do you think?
They still love Emmanuel Wilson there. So I could see him getting a really big workload. But yeah, tough Minnesota defense traditionally, but like they have been run on recently. So with LaFleur, it's like if the run game is working, he's just gonna stick with the run game, and then if he has to adjust, then he'll be like, okay, I guess we need to adjust a little bit and air it out. But I mean, again, Christian Watson going super late in these drafts, and the Packers like can't say enough glowing things about how much they love Christian Watson. And we've seen these deep shots every week to him since he's back. So obviously if he hits in a big way there, then, it's probably Jordan Love who's putting up a decent little score there. But I like Neil's call of Sam Darnold quite a bit. Like, we know the Seahawks are going to put up a lot of points in that game. And okay, yeah, it's likely coming mainly through the running game, but it's not like a slam dunk 100% outcome that always happens, right? It's like maybe 60-65% that's where that really comes from. But as much as they want to run the ball, as good as they are at play action, and then having Sam Darnold, who's absolutely slinging it this year downfield, especially on play actions, having Rashid Shaheed, who isn't being drafted in every draft, so that's some nice leverage there. If he ends up getting that touchdown last week that Emmanuel Forbes was able to get his hands on, then we're talking a little bit differently about Shaheed here. So I like that call. Also like the Trevor Lawrence as kind of a late round quarterback. Liam Cohen had this big meeting with him over the bye about hey man, you just got to cut it loose. Okay. I'm setting everything up for you. You just got to cut it loose. And also, by the way, make sure to use your legs whenever you have that opportunity. And having Brissett on the other side in Arizona, this is a game that I could see really, I could see Lawrence getting pushed here.
Yeah, I really like that shot. I love when these AFC, NFC matchups happen, especially in the dome. So it just kind of screams like this could be fun. So great shout outs there. Interesting one when it comes to tight end, because I want to talk a little bit about Mr. Strange, so don't let me forget. Arizona too, heavy penalty. They just cannot keep the yellow flags in the zebras' pockets. So they get so many penalties. Offensive get so many more plays because of it. So it's definitely an up in pace game environment, and it has that nice kind of high and tight 47.5. And Zona's dogs by 2.5 is what I'm seeing right now. So that's a good fun one. And I don't think T-Law's been going in many drafts that I've seen. So that's going to be a point of emphasis for me throughout the week. All right. I think we said it all. Any other last shout outs? Anyone wants to jump in? Feel free.
Love Goff against Giants coming off a down game. Dan Campbell is the guy that wants to put up 50, 60 points with his offense here. And if the Giants aren't able to get much going on offense, then the foot doesn't come off the pedal for Dan Campbell. And as susceptible as the Giants are in, really all areas on defense, but with JMO really clicking now, with the connection that Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown have, I think we could see Goff put up some big numbers here.
Yeah, Detroit in the dome, implied to hit 30 points. They're probably going to go north of that easily, be my guess, after the Giants DST that is just god awful. Yeah, they play a lot of man, and they can't stop. This is an explosion spot for the Lions, and we're going to talk about with Gibbs, but it's definitely JMO, St. Brown, and the fact that Laporta's isn't there anymore. I honestly feel that this offense is condensing down even more. So I'm trying to get all the JMO, Gibbs, St. Brown, JMO, Goff, doubles that I can, and say maybe this might be the separator. Kind of stack team environment is kind of how I've been playing it.
Yeah, Giant, like you mentioned, Giants lead the NFL in man coverage 40.5% of the time, according to Fantasy Points Data Suite.
Yeah, they're not very good at it, but they keep playing it. We'll take it, right?
Just running bad, man.
Yeah. Just let them keep playing it, and let's just keep betting on it. I think it's what we got to do as gamers. All right. So this is, I honestly, at first I kind of saw this running back slate, and I'm like, it's kind kind of very top heavy. And I don't know if I like kind of, the fourth, fifth, sixth rounders, but the more I'm drafting these, the more I'm starting to like kind of, there's decent clicks throughout the whole entire draft. So to me, it kind of makes it fun to get a little creative where you don't feel like you need to go RB starts, where you can kind of layer them in and kind of attack that wide receiver position a little bit. So we got to me, it's kind of the big, there's a little bit of tiers within the tiers, but JT to Barkley for me, I think is kind of a block. Henry just quite hasn't gotten there, but the volume is getting better, and he almost had a 70-yarder to the house against the Browns, but he got caught at the end there. So Neil, what are you thinking? Are you kind of with consensus with JT, Gibbs, Bijan, or do you think there's an argument for Gibbs over Taylor just because of the matchup this week?
Yeah, I do kind of see that argument. I think I'm paranoid about Jonathan Taylor now that I'm finally cheering for him for the first time. Now I'm like, of course he's going to fail now. But no, I think like this is probably how I'm going to draft it is JT first, then Gibbs, then Bijan, then Barkley. I think I agree with your assessment of like, that's kind of a block. But yeah, I don't see any real reason to flip it. I'm tempted to go Gibbs over Taylor, but and like if I were doing 2 drafts, maybe I would do that. But like, because I'm doing volume, I'm just going to do it in this order. I don't think I need to take a huge stand of Gibbs over Taylor, because Taylor is just like, he's done great in even bad matchups all year. He's been just a stud. So I don't think I'm going to flip it. But again, if you're doing like 2 drafts and you want to take Gibbs over Taylor, I think it's totally defensible.
Yeah. What do you think, Greg?
Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. I mean, like I've only done a couple drafts, but I don't imagine we'll see a lot of drafts where Jonathan Taylor isn't going first. So if you have the first pick, it's like, okay, let me go ahead and get my Jonathan Taylor exposure here. But yeah, love Gibbs, and really like Saquon a lot this week. He got 5 targets in their first matchup against the Cowboys, who play a lot of cover 2. The Eagles are talking about the need to get Saquon Barkley out in space. They're down their right tackle in Lane Johnson, who's like a super, super important piece for them. So, could see this as a way of trying to kind of work around that. And I'm Henry. Like I would like to have some exposure to. I'm probably not taking a lot of Javonte Williams this week against like a healthy Eagles line now. But some good clicks up at the top here.
Yeah, I've been really prioritizing Hendo versus Cincy, and I've been letting Jay Will kind of go on the wayside. I haven't done it yet. He's been falling kind of more mid-second. I think you're going to kind of see that throughout the week, especially when like projections really get launched out. I think it's a really tough matchup for the Dallas running game. I think it's anything they're going to try to attack it in the air more than on the ground, personally. But I could be wrong. He could get there from the goal line.
I mean, he did in their first matchup. He got those 2 goal line touchdowns, and and that was kind of
Well, one of them was because of a pass interference in the end zone, and then the other I think was like a play, like maybe it was Pickens or somebody like ripped off something and got it all the way down to the 1-yard line. Yeah, it's like, all right, Javonte time.
Yeah, that's just kind of how I'm playing it. I mean, I think you're going to see him fall in drafts a little bit. I think Hendo is going to be screaming up. I think already he kind of has. Really it's that 1-2 turn. People are trying to pair up Hendo with Higgins. Now that Chase has been ruled out, I think that's going to be a pretty common mini at the back end of the first round. What are you hearing in New England, Greg, with maybe Stevenson coming back? What are you hearing about Hendo and the coaching staff?
Yes. So I believe Rabel said yesterday, let me pull it up here, that he expects Ramondre Stevenson and Kayshon Boutte to be back at practice on Wednesday. And, we'll just see how that goes. they haven't said much about like what the depth chart is going to look like when Ramondre comes back. You would think that Travion Henderson has at least earned a bigger share of this backfield, and regardless, I don't think Ramondre gets like his full workload of whatever they decide it is now in his first game back, dealing with this toe there, and just like a smash matchup against Cincinnati. So I think when we're talking about a game that we're playing where like you're trying to select guys who have these really high ceiling outcomes. Well, we've already seen that with Travion Henderson the past couple of weeks, and now he gets to square off against the NFL's worst defense. So I'm 0% scared to play him in lineups.
Yeah. You seeing the same, Neil?
Yeah, I love Henderson this week. I have not gotten him yet. I look at this ADP. I keep getting the 8th and 9th pick and thinking I can probably get Henderson in the second round, and it has not come back to me yet. He never actually goes at.
These are 16. Fake ADPs. Okay,
they really are. They're super fake. I fall for it every week.
So fake.
Yeah.
Yeah, they are. It right now. This is how I'm tackling this week. This is go get your guy season. We're at the Alamo right now.
Yeah.
We have to like shoot for the moon.
Yeah,
and that's how I'm tackling this. I'm shooting the moon, man.
That Alamo event ended super well, as we all know.
Right. Yeah, so I mean, I've been trying to attack the Alamo by going and getting 2 of my guys in the first and second round. So I take, Saquon Barkley or Derrick Henry, and hope that I'll get one of them with Travion Henderson, and that just has not happened yet. So I probably will need to start taking Travion Henderson in the first round and stop wishcasting for it to come back to me. But yeah, like I agree with you. He's a fantastic play. Running backs against Cincinnati, we just do it every week. I'll take that over Jay Will any day. But outside, I think Travis Etienne is great. Quinshon Judkins, I believe I passed on him at pick 30 in one of my recent drafts, which no, that was Genty. Sorry, I keep on the rookie running backs in the same game. No, I think it was Genty, but Judkins, like it's a decent matchup with Vegas, not like an elite matchup. I don't know what to make of Judkins because he looked so good early on, and now he's just been bottled up for 5 games in a row or something. I know he had the 3 touchdown game, I guess, is in there somewhere, but that was just all short touchdowns. So it's hard to get super enthusiastic about it, but I still think he probably has the capability of breaking off long runs. It's not like a terrible matchup with the Raiders. So Judkins, okay to me. Genty's really tough for me at Cleveland. Like I really need him to fall. I have seen him fall into the 40s, at which point it's like, that's a really good price for Ashton Genty given his volume. But at this point, it is kind of like, I don't like these guys that much better than the running backs that you can get later. And we already talked about, Greg brought up Kenneth Walker is now kind of in that range. You can't really get him later anymore, but like, I think I prefer him over at least Genty. And then I think there are some later running backs that are sort of intriguing also. So it's tougher for me to pay up when I think there's just kind of a long block of running backs that look pretty good. If
Shadur Sanders is the starter for Cleveland this week, how many men do we think the Raiders put in the box?
Yeah.
11?
Right.
Yeah.
True.
It's going to be tough.
Yeah. It's got a team total of 36.5. So I'm kind of thinking I did do like a Brock Genty kind of block, and then I'm like, this is kind of stupid. Like, is that what are the chances that this team scores 3+ touchdowns? I don't know. I did a couple just for fun because they both were falling a little bit, but I completely agree with what you guys are saying. Chase Brown, New England. What do we think? Are we still staying away from the Pats just because they stop everybody? But Chase might get a little bit through the air without Jamar Chase on the field. What do you guys think there?
I think if P. Ryan isn't back, we could see maybe like 8 receptions out of Chase Brown this week, and get some stuff off that. But it's not a guy that I have like circled as, hey, make sure you leave a draft with Chase Brown.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
looks fine. Where he's going, I think he's fine.
Yeah. All right, this is the one that I want to shout out your Discord because this really got me thinking about Pittsburgh. I like attacking the Bears defense. They give up a lot of big splash plays in a slate that we're trying to get top 3. We need high floor, high ceiling plays. And I kind of like Pittsburgh a little bit more ground game than probably through the air, because we're probably not going to see Rodgers. But this Warren and Gainwell decision, a lot of people are playing the Q tag with Warren, but I'm kind of starting to click Gainwell a little bit in the 6th round because he's free. Greg, what are you hearing out of Pittsburgh?
Yeah, they I mean, they love Kenneth Gainwell. He's a football player, as Tomlin referred to him, not just a running back. We've seen him, even pre Jaylen Warren injury this year, like get a good amount of work there. For me, like I think my level of enthusiasm is going to be based upon like whether Aaron Rodgers plays in this game. Like if he's playing in this game with that like fractured bone in his non-throwing hand, then I think we see a lot of that like shorter, pass game to the running back stuff that we have seen from Rodgers over his career and in Pittsburgh, but especially now, like with like dealing with this whole hand thing, like they're not gonna want him to be back in the pocket for a long time. And worst case scenario, even if Jaylen Warren does play in this game, like Kenneth Gainwell is going to get work against what you rightfully described as a really bad Chicago Bears defense. And then, if they decide, hey, let's give Jaylen Warren a little more time to recover, because it like they said that he was cleared to come back and he wanted to come back and he could have come back. But like he was really hobbled and got really twisted up on that play. So if it's a situation where they just don't need Jaylen Warren out there, then yeah, I think we see a lot of Kenneth Gainwell, and he probably racks up a decent amount of receptions against a really bad Bears defense. Like in for a guy who's going in the final round and probably going undrafted in a decent amount of drafts, like that's a really nice spot, I think.
What do you think, Neil?
Yeah, I think that's a great click. I have not done the Kenneth Gainwell thing yet, but I think he's a better click than Jaylen Warren, because Jaylen Warren, best case scenario, he comes in and he's in a split backfield. Kenneth Gainwell is like he's worst case scenario is he's in a split backfield. Best case scenario is he's getting like all the work in a great spot. So yeah, I love that shout out. I haven't done it yet, but I think that's a great shout out for a late round running back.
Yeah, it's gonna be cold probably in Chicago. Bummed ankle. Tough field too. I could see that thing barking at him extended.
Yeah. There's a lot of like really interesting RB2s this week. I think if you look at like Jacksonville, Seattle, Detroit, New England, Pittsburgh, Chicago, like all pretty interesting RB2s. One guy that I'm really curious to hear what you guys think is Bam Knight.
I think it was Michael Carter who got most of the work last week, right?
He did. When DeMarcado went down, I believe it was a lot of Michael Carter.
Yeah, Bam Knight. If the game stays close, what the spread says it is, Bam's going to get a lot of the more base work, and Mike gets all the passing work.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as the game stays close, I think it's a great shout.
But I think that goal line work,
I
feel like is going to pretty clearly be Bam Knight's.
Yeah, I agree with that.
That's a good shout.
That's a good shout. The only thing I worry about a little bit is just the Jags. The Jags front is really good on both sides of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So if the Jags do kind of get out early, get some turnovers, and it could be, I think it's an interesting way. You can kind of play it both ways. But it's a good shout. Do we think Monangai is gonna? He's been getting a lot of the goal line. Do we see maybe a little bit more of a flipping, or is it just these guys both have roles and it's going to be pretty shared moving forward?
I mean, they've kind of been alternating series with the two and going with a hot hand, which DeAndre Swift has kind of had a little bit more of recently. Ben Johnson actually yesterday in his presser. Talked about that. He was asked, like, how are you guys divvying up reps between DeAndre Swift and Kyle Monangai? He was like, we're comfortable with both. Like, they're both proven, got a lot of confidence. It might be series by series. It might be hot hand. We kind of go based on what we see in practice. A lot of the time, I feel really good about both of those guys.
Yeah, it's a risk reward click, but I've been thinking about a little bit more. Monangai, he's to me just he seems to have a little bit more juice last week. He looked better, I thought, on tape than Swift did.
He's a really, really tough runner, man.
Yeah. So Neil, against your Minnesota Vikings, are you going to be clicking any Wilson with Jacobs out?
If Jacobs misses, I mean, I think it's fine. Like it's been my stance that the Vikings defense is better, like a better run defense than people were giving it credit for. And actually the numbers have caught up with it, at least in terms of schedule adjusted fantasy points allowed. They've actually been like second worst matchup for running backs over the past 5 weeks, but it's a defense that I think it's offense dependent. Like I think they've been really good in the first half of games. And then the Vikings offense has been so bad, like for a lot good chunks of the year in certain games, that just like the offense doesn't stay out on the field. And eventually the defense does get worn down. Like we've seen that a number of times where it's like against Kamani Vidal, like they bottled him up in the first half, and in the second half, he's just having chunk play after chunk play, putting up big numbers. So I think that's still like how the defense will be. Like there are going to be games where the offense is just so bad that the defense wears down eventually, and then you can run on them. So yeah, if Josh Jacobs is out, I think Emmanuel Wilson totally fine click there in the later rounds, because I think he's going to get a good work share if Jacobs is out. But that's I think still an unknown. Maybe it's more doubtful than questionable right now. I'm not sure exactly the likelihood of Jacobs missing.
Yeah, Greg, any shout outs on that backfield? I mean, I'm playing it. Jacobs is out.
Yeah, the LaFleur said yesterday that they asked him if it's possible that Jacobs plays this week. He said, quote, potentially, we'll see where he's at. It's a contusion, so it's just more or less trying to get the swelling down, end quote. The Packers are traditionally play it pretty safe with their players, especially their star players. It definitely would not surprise me for Jacobs to be inactive this week. And Emmanuel Wilson in that case, I think would get a lot of work.
Yeah. Couple of my last couple notes on running back is I always play DeMont when they're at home and they're heavy favorites, in which they are this week. So he's on the table for me. Giants, again, we already talked about, but the Giants right now have given up the most 10-yard runs in the NFL. They're almost pushing 50. So they give up like four or five a game right now. So I think Gibbs and DeMont, both of them are in really good spots this week. And then we'll have that Kenneth Walker conversation here in a second. Is also, I think Kamara coming off a pre-bye, he got like over 20 touches. I'm kind of playing it that it might happen again after post-bye. As the team's getting a little bit healthier. Atlanta's been traveling like crazy lately, and they've had a lot of injuries, and I can kind of see the Saints keeping it close, and hopefully Kamara utilization stays up. And he's kind of in that 4-5. So if you can kind of attack the wide receiver positions early, you can kind of then start and pick and choose this kind of range of the draft for that RB, even RB1 or RB2 position is kind of how I'm playing it. So, Greg, you kind of scratched at it, but can you give us a little bit of the alpha of that Seattle coaching staff and what they're talking about with Kenneth Walker?
Yeah. So got a quote from Mike McDonald in yesterday's press conference, who said, I think Ken's showing that he's earning more opportunities to get the ball. Said, I think, so that's how he started the quote, and he ended the quote. He like bookended it. He bookended it with, I think Ken's showing that he deserves some more opportunities. They also asked him, like, is he past all his health stuff now? He's like, yeah, he's clear. Like, he's completely healthy. He's good. This is a pretty bad Titans defense, I mean, just a pretty bad Titans team in general. Really high point spread in this game. Seattle would prefer to run the shit out of the ball whenever they can, and then just work play action and some deep shots off of that. I think this is a game where both running backs could get there. Even though McDonald says that Kenneth Walker is completely healthy, he still had some quotes earlier in the season of we're just trying to make sure that these guys get all the way through the season. And I feel like that has been a big thing for Kenneth Walker, and kind of the way that they're splitting this backfield up. We see that when games get really close, it's in the fourth quarter, Kenneth Walker is the one who's out there. When the games are in hand, they can do this kind of alternating series type thing. And he said, we don't want any of our running backs to get 100% of the carries. So I believe Kenneth Walker is going to get more work. We've already seen that in the past game or so of how he's getting more opportunities there, and he's capitalizing on these opportunities. He's also getting goal line work, which he was not getting kind of in the first half of the season. So I think this is a really great spot. I think both running backs from Seattle are live here. I could absolutely see a scenario where Seattle gets up by 3-4 touchdowns, and it's more Charbonnet in the fourth quarter than Kenneth Walker. And when you have a team that's probably going to be scoring a good amount of points in this game, think about all the potential guys that could score. Obviously JSN, Rashid Shaheed, AJ Barner is in there, and then the running backs, right? It's Ken Walker and it's Zach Charbonnet. Maybe Charbonnet ends up with 2 touchdowns and 60 total yards or something.
Yep, good for 18 points. That's what he loves to do. Sharp for 18. Great shout. So just to kind of close the loop on that, Neil, how's that Tennessee matchup been lately? What are you seeing? Are people being able to run it all over them, or are they more of a pass funnel? What are you seeing there?
In terms of schedule adjusted fantasy points allowed to the position, it's a good, not great matchup. Let's see. It's the 13th or so best matchup for running backs over the past 5 weeks in terms of schedule adjusted fantasy points allowed. So, I mean, that's using just a recent kind of small sample. They've been a good matchup, but I think it's more about the game script, as Greg alluded to it. Just Seattle could just hang a lot of points on them and then run it off on them. I love the shout of Charbonnet also being viable. I was actually going to say that as well. Just we're all getting excited about Kenneth Walker. I've been ready to be excited about Kenneth Walker all year, but Zach Charbonnet still had 11 carries last week. He still has had 55% of the inside the 5 carries on the season, according to the Fantasy Points data suite. So we can't really totally, throw him off to the side just yet. I still think he's probably going to get some involvement.
Yeah. No, I think we said it all in the running back position.
Can I throw one more name out there, because we sort of alluded to it, and I need to say it to get myself kicked out of the sloppy verse. I also think Ramondre Stevenson is very much in play. I know we're all expecting him to take a big backseat to Trevion, but he's practicing, and they did love Ramondre, and on limited touches you can still put up a big game on Cincinnati. So even if he touches the ball 12 times, I think Ramondre could get there. So I think it got to shout that name out.
Yeah. And if he's active, he's probably getting the majority of the goal line work, if not all of the goal line work.
Yeah. Yeah. He's going to get all the inside stuff, and Hendo will get all the outside stuff, so it's definitely a good shout out. In a game that we're playing, touchdowns matter in half-point PPR.
Yeah.
So it's definitely a good shout. I've done it. He's always there in the 6th round. I think I've maybe seen him once in the 5th round with a running back thirsty drafter, but
it could have been me. I think I've taken him in the 5th round.
Yeah. All right. This, I think RB is the most important position. Second to me is the wide receiver position. And for me, it's it's not a whole lot of sexy clicks up top. So I'm going a little bit more running back tight end. Just because some of these, JSN is in a game environment that, it's not going to explode on his end. I mean, he might get there early with 1, can he get 2? Can he be the separator? I might have a little soft fade on JSN this week. I do like St. Brown just because we've already talked about how Campbell loves just to hang 45, if not 50 points if he can, because he loves making the other team not want to play football the following week. And Lamb's in a good matchup. Tough team, but like a one that definitely, Dak's going to spin it. Hopefully he plays as good as he did last night. 3-4 touchdowns is possibility. And then you got Rice. So to me, again, it's kind of that top four tiers within that top four. But hopefully, Mahomes can play better and Rice can kind of get home more on that volume. But one thing I thought was interesting, Mahomes only targeted Rice once in the second half last week. I thought that was very odd. I don't know what was going on there, as maybe it was more of a Kelsey second half and Denver was really focusing, trying to eliminate Rice. But, I thought that was interesting. So Greg, what are you thinking with this top four? Is it kind of in line with consensus, or do you see there should be some flipping a little bit with maybe Lamb and St. Brown, or do you like JSN as a 1.1 from the wide receiver position?
I mean, if I had to stake my life on it,
let's stake it, Greg. Stake it. Let's stake it.
You're
in the Alamo.
I think St. Brown would maybe be my top guy here. I mean, these are like three, like for me, the tier is like these top three guys. We saw CD in week 1 against Philly on the road, just like go nuts there. Amon-Ra, like after this down game, Dan Campbell was just saying like it happens, like it happens every once in a while, but like this connection, basically a mind meld that Jared Goff and Amon-Ra have together, like that's not going away. I expect to see them go right back to it. Amon-Ra had a lot of targets, just didn't, like they were just off a tick there. And I think he probably torches the Giants. I think Detroit torches the Giants in just like every phase of the game. And if you're a team that's playing just like man against Amon-Ra St. Brown, like, all right, good, best of luck to you, Shane Bowen. But that being said, like JSN's been unbelievable this year. Like he's
low volume,
but he's like on pace to break the all-time receiving yards record, I believe. And like I definitely want some exposure to him.
Yeah. What about you, Neil? How you kind of seeing these top four?
Yeah, I mean, same concerns for JSN. Like he's so good, but I think somebody said it in chat. What are the odds he even plays in the second? Obviously, he's going to play in the second half, but like he could not be super involved if they take a big lead. So that is the big concern with JSN. Is just like they get up too much too early, and like you said, it's like he probably still puts up 70 yards and a touchdown, but like, do you really want that in the first half? So I still think that he is a strong first round click, but I think a light fade makes sense to me on JSN. But I don't love the matchup for CeeDee Lamb with the Eagles. I just think the Eagles have been so good recently, and they've shut down good. I mean, they shut down the Lions, who have a great offense.
Yeah.
Shut down the Packers, who have, I think, a competent. I mean, they looked a lot better when they were not playing the Eagles. So yeah, the matchup makes me super nervous against the Eagles. So I think that I do have it, JSN, Amon-Ra, and then I guess I still just am going to buy into the talent of Rashee Rice, and in a game where we're going to be at least afraid of the Colts offense, I think they're going to keep trying to score. So I think I like Rashee Rice probably better than CeeDee Lamb personally. But I mean, I see the case. CeeDee Lamb is just so good. It makes sense for him to be there. But yeah, I think that's a place where it's like, I'm not going to take CeeDee Lamb there because I'm going to hope that Rashee Rice falls to me instead. Not necessarily that I'm actually going to take Rashee Rice ahead of him that often. But yeah, I think I have it just slightly out of order, where I think I slightly prefer Rice over Lamb.
Yeah. So then we got the fun AJ Brown, the constant drama. He's kind of in the second round. Olave is sometimes flips them here and there. I kind of like Olave this week. It's in the dome, should be a high in pace. It's just the game. Can Atlanta keep pace? Kirk Cousins is kind of a question mark. But again, I like leaning into some of these dome environments. And then your boy Neil, can we go back to JJ? Can we trust JJ? Can he get a ceiling game with your quarterback?
Yeah, I don't love it. I don't love Justin Jefferson this week. I prefer Higgins over Jefferson. I prefer Devontae Smith over Jefferson. I don't think I prefer Stephon Diggs just because Cincinnati, the one thing they're good at defensively is stopping number one receivers. But I'm pretty into, I think like AJ Brown going well ahead of Devontae Smith. I think I prefer Devontae Smith in this range just because they play very little man coverage, and AJ Brown feasts on man. Devontae Smith better against zone this year, so I prefer Devontae Smith over AJ Brown. This is a super fun range where it's like you can see any of these guys just absolutely crushing. But yeah, I'm sort of nitpicking, and I would just move up T. Higgins and Devontae Smith, I think, to the top of this range. Maybe Olave also goes ahead of them, but I think I just moved those guys up and slide down AJ Brown slightly, and Justin Jefferson as well, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, that honestly, like the draft boards, again, room dependent, but I've seen people right now pretty much taking T. Higgins at the 1-2 turn, and even like Pickens and JMO, they'll flip a lot of these guys. I just think this is one long tier, all the way down to probably Rome, maybe Pittman. Yeah. How are you seeing it, Greg?
I think it's a great area to take quarterback or running back or tight end. I think receivers like pretty deep this week. There's some guys that you can get in the final couple rounds of Dawg Bowl drafts here who I think have a pretty decent shot at putting up a nice score and at a higher leverage point for you. Chris Olave definitely intrigues me. Like that passing offense is focused mainly on him, and now some Juwan Johnson as well, who I'm sure we're going to talk about. What really intrigues me about this game is it has a very low point total. It's like below 40, I believe, like 39.5 or something like that. But it's one of those games with a low point total where I could see a final score of 34-29 or something like that.
Yeah, Atlanta's really, really fast, but they're light. So if the Saints can play a little bully ball and get up early, it could be fun.
Yeah.
Personally, George Pickens, we just saw it. Can we see it again? That'll be the questions. Diggs, great matchup. Big point of the offense. JMO, we all love him. Big splash play. Really, really good matchup for him. I think all these guys are screaming up boards.
Yeah. Zay got super, super close to having a big day last week. Came just short of the goal line there and gets this Jets defense, which is like woof.
Yeah. We're getting close to it. I'll save it. So are you guys like with DK Metcalf? Are you guys thinking we should wait on Metcalf until we know about Rodgers, or what are you guys thinking on Metcalf? Because it's a pretty good matchup against the Bears for him.
Yeah, I think just like based on his ceiling outcome, grab yourself some Metcalf. I'm not going crazy on him this week. Like he's not a guy that I just absolutely have to have a big bag of. Arthur Smith is running this offense through the tight ends and the running backs and everybody but DK Metcalf and the receivers. But we've seen blow up spots from him this year, and in this game against Chicago is like just as good a spot as any.
Yeah.
Could it be that it's actually beneficial to him if it's Mason Rudolph? Like you often see the backup quarterback come in and just target the top receiver every single time. Like that could happen here, I think. So yeah. I haven't clicked it yet, but I think that would not necessarily even hurt my love for DK if it is Mason Rudolph.
Yeah, I've been kind of in that 1-2 when you're in like at the bookend like 10, 11, 12. It seems like these are kind of your 3-4 decisions. As if Flowers does fall, but he hasn't really been, is DK and Rome. do you go that way or do you bypass it and go down to what Greg was talking about earlier, some other later round wide receivers? I kind of like the Rome matchup this week. It does seem like the Steelers are starting to play a lot better defense and not having those communication issues where all those big splash plays were happening like a couple weeks ago. But again, you never know. And Rome's been really good against man, and Pittsburgh's definitely a Rolodex defense. They play some man, they play some zone. They have a lot of different concepts, but I kind of like potentially the Rome spot, paired with Caleb this week, if you want to get into that game environment. All right. So the question that I have is really in this Indy KC game. It's high and tight. And I think it's a big decision for us is what is Indy going to do with Sauce now that they have Sauce? Are they going to put him on Worthy? Are they going to put him on Rice? Greg, is there any insight? Have you heard anything about how Indy's going to utilize Sauce at all?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
No clue.
Neither have I. Yeah, tough one. I think they're going to put him on Worthy. And they'll probably try to bracket a little bit Rice and Kelsey that way. Be my guess. They're going to try to shut Worthy down with Sauce. That's my gut. What about you, Neil? What are you thinking there?
I guess my gut would be Rice, just because our team's actually afraid of Xavier Worthy is the only question there. But I think you have a better read on these kind of things than I do typically. Yeah. So if your read is Worthy, then I think that would make some sense.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's kind of like how is Reed going to attack this defense? Because historically, Indy can be beat through the air pretty easily, but now they're trying to shore that up with Sauce. So you got to think they're going to eliminate somebody with Sauce, and then they're going to play bracket coverage on the next guy. Belichick used to always double their best wide receiver and then eliminate the wide receiver too. And I feel like that's kind of becoming the meta. A lot of defensive coordinators have been doing that ever since Belichick has been doing that for the last decade in New England. So that's just kind of what I'm thinking, because for that game to pop, you need to find the Kansas City guy that pops. If not, it's going to be kind of another slug that we just saw potentially. So interesting. Some things to think about and track through. I like Michael Wilson again this week. I don't think someone that just got the surgery that happened with Marv, he's going to come back and play football this week. I'll be shocked. What about you, Greg? What are you thinking?
Yeah, same thing. We saw Jacoby Brissett target the hell out of Michael Wilson, and after the production that Michael Wilson gave out of that, like why drift away from that? Obviously Trey McBride going to be super involved, but as we were talking about earlier, like I feel this is a game where both offenses can just push the other here in this matchup. So getting Michael Wilson and then a Parker Washington bring back with Trevor Lawrence, you're getting all of that at really, really cheap prices. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Again, high and tight, 47.5. The Dogs by 2.5. And even pre-injury, he was playing all the routes with Marv, but he just wasn't getting the targets because all the targets, 60% of the pie was just to Marv and to Trey McBride. When then what happened, you move Marv, Wilson now gets all the targets, and we just saw that explosion spot. So, I think it's very repeatable this week. All right, Neil, getting down here. These guys are going to be clicked probably 50, 60, 70% of the time. People aren't liking your boy Addison. I've been seeing him go undrafted a little bit. Wandell is a little bit of a high riser. I think people are chasing the targets. But again, a week that I'm so focused on ceiling, I'm not even going to touch Wandell. I don't think there's a ceiling this week for him. The Lions are pretty good right now at stopping wide receivers.
Yeah, it is I've thought about doing the Addison click, haven't done it yet, just because it's a tough matchup with Green Bay. I think he's a flying late round click, just not a huge priority for me. BTJ, I think, is kind of an interesting. I don't know if you're staying on the clock or he might actually play. I think it kind of remains to be seen, but he's not on IR, so there's at least a chance that BTJ comes back this week. So as a late round pick, I think he's fine. I do like Pierce a bit. I just think Pierce is pretty involved in that offense. Not a great matchup, but I think that he's a clickable late player. Mooney with no London, I think looks pretty good. With Kirk Cousins, I think Mooney is a click that I've done once or twice already in the 6 drafts that I've done. I think could be fairly involved, so I like that click. Those are the ones that stand out to me. Just looking at the list. Oh, Jacoby Myers I actually like quite a bit as well. I think he's a pretty strong role in a great matchup there.
Yeah, you made that click in our draft. I saw that was nice. I didn't think of that until just now. I was like, I like that.
Oh, actually, there's a Q tag. No, maybe I should let you. Maybe I should let you name that player. I'll leave it to you.
Oh, we always got to get our hands on some Butte.
That's right.
Our boy Chris G did it yesterday, and he wanted to shout it out.
Nice.
So that was.
I did it today. I legitimately think it's a great click.
Yeah. Well, all right, Greg. Who are your favorite clicks down here?
Yeah, got a few. We talked about Rashid Shaheed, Christian Watson. I think Andre Yosavash is very interesting as somebody who's not getting drafted a ton with Jamar Chase out there. I mean, super. If you want to be like the only person to take this player in the entire Dawg Bowl, maybe Mitchell Tinsley.
Ooh, love it.
He's like a super deep one. And then I'm very, very interested in Luther Burden after he has taken over the Olamide Zaccheaus snaps there in Chicago in a game that I think could end up as a pretty high scoring game between Pittsburgh and Chicago. Give me some final round Luther Burden.
Yeah, I like great shouts. You know what I love about these shouts? These guys are just big play magnets. You get home with like 4 targets.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I love it. Great shout outs.
Also, very last one. I think Pop Douglas could be a play against Cincinnati. And just the guy that's not drafted that often.
Yeah, no.
The coverage matrix tool at Fantasy Points, he pops. No pun intended. He popped in a huge way in that matchup.
Yeah. They do a lot of fun stuff with him. So I could totally see it. I think it's definitely worth, if you get boxed out of the early wide receivers, I think those are some fun clicks that we just shouted out.
Are all 3 of us winning Dawg Bowl this week?
I think we're gonna feel 3 tickets right here.
Yeah, I think it's in this order. It's 1, 2, 3.
I'm fine with that. I'm okay with being 3. That's cool with me. Yeah, let's do it.
Let's go, Greg. All right, tight end before we hop in the lobby here. It's a fun one. Again, I think it's kind of the top 4. I think are going to project all pretty close. Definitely, there's tiers within the top 4, but McBride, Bowers, Warren, and Kelsey are going to be kind of priority for me as running back and wide receiver kind of dry out a little bit. Right now, you can get a good price on Kelsey, kind of late third. I don't know if that's going to be sticky. I think he's going to move up. Same thing with Warren. I saw Warren go late third right now. I think people are forgetting about Tyler Warren just because he hasn't been on our slate for a while. So Neil, what do you think? What are you prioritizing with tight end?
Yeah, I guess I'm in. I love Trey McBride at the top. I think he's a great first round click. I think he's going to be targeted quite a bit. Great matchup with Jacksonville. Bowers, I think it's a tougher matchup, so that's the only reason that he's a tier down for me from McBride. So it is still kind of like McBride on his own tier for me. And then to me, it would be Bowers, and I think Warren would be another tier. I don't have Kelsey in that same tier with those two. I include Kelsey more in the next tier where we see Dallas Goedert against Dallas, who they've actually been pretty good against tight ends. I just think that they should be able to score on Dallas quite a bit. So Goedert looks good to me. And then Hunter Henry, just the matchup with Cincinnati. We didn't see it from the Pittsburgh tight ends other than the Darnell Washington throwing them around, but generally they didn't really get there. But I think in general, it's a great matchup against Cincinnati, and it's a tough matchup for wide receiver 1, Stephon Diggs. So I think Hunter Henry could be more involved here. So to me, it's like Kelsey's more in that tier for me. And I have not clicked Kelsey because I'm like, I'd love to get my exposure up on Hunter Henry and Dallas Goedert. And then there are also some later tight ends that I like in their range as well. You
thinking the same, Greg, or is there something that stands out to you a little bit more than others here?
Well, we talked earlier about, like who are the Colts going to put on Worthy? Who are the Colts going to put on Rashee Rice? I mean, I feel like Travis Kelce could be open for another pretty good day this week. And the Colts have allowed pretty much any tight end with a real pulse to do some real damage against them. Now, granted, that's most of the season without Sauce Gardner on one side of the field, so that can certainly change the calculus a little bit. Brock Bowers, very interesting to me. Again, not like the best matchup out there, but when you're thinking about like which team is going to possess the ball, like how many plays are these teams getting off, I just don't see, if Shadur Sanders is starting for Cleveland, I don't see Cleveland possessing the ball for a lot of this game, which means the Raiders are going to get a lot of opportunities on offense. Tyler Warren as a guy that could any week put up like 25 points from the tight end spot. Super interested in him. Obviously, Trey McBride. Neil shouted out Dallas Goedert, which we'll probably get into that tier in a second. But again, with Lane Johnson out, I think we see a little bit more quick game from Philly this week, especially with Quinnen Williams there in Dallas now. And could see Goddard getting a good 7 or so targets this week.
Yeah, they utilize him around the goal line quite a bit too, with the different packages and stuff. So just pushing it in. Yeah, I like the Kelce matchup just because of the sauce, variable in that matchup, and with that 50 point total, that's a game environment I definitely want to attack this week. I think Ferg's always capable. I know the Eagles are really good. It's stopping the pass, but I just think that Dallas is going to have to throw. So Ferg's kind of fallen a little bit, so I've been clicking that. And then I like Pitts a lot this week.
Yeah, same.
I think we can go back to Kyle Pitts. He should get a lot of targets. I know Cousins wasn't a huge fan of Pitts last year when he did, but that's when London was there and they had Ray McLeod. Like, he was really spreading it out. There's a chance that there's really not separators other than Kyle Pitts and Mooney. So there's a chance that this could be a super condensed offense. So I kind of like that click this week. Are you hearing it kind of the same, Greg?
Yeah, I'm definitely into Pitts this week with Drake London out. This might be like too galaxy brained, but every once in a while I'll kind of like dip in with a 2 tight end. Bill, I did it last week with Trey McBride and George Kittle.
Yeah,
and like as many lineups as I could, especially towards the end of the week. I think it's a slim shot, I'm sure, but I think like a Kyle Pitts, Juwan Johnson bring back is it's very intriguing to me. I don't know if I'll have the balls to actually play it, and maybe it's like way too galaxy brain, but again, talking about a game that like maybe goes several touchdowns over what the expected total is. I mean, these are 2 guys who would be a part of that.
Yeah. I think you can totally play 2 tight ends with McBride because he's not really a tight end. He's a wide receiver.
Yeah.
So now getting close to tight end, 8 through 12, definitely I'm going to try to get maybe a little bit of leverage by clicking some of these Theo Johnsons, Brock Wrights, close and Loveland, I think has a ceiling. I love AJ Barner. He had 10 targets last week. I just don't think he's going to be needed other than maybe a tush push touchdown. But what do you think? What do you think here, Neil?
Yeah, I think this is a strong range. I think Mark Andrews, always just an end zone magnet. They should be able to score on the Jets. So he looks good. I'm sure Greg talked about, I think he was talking about Kyle Pitts and Juwan Johnson. I'm not sure if I heard that, but both look like really strong plays here. So I do think that we have some depth here. I haven't actually looked at Isaiah Likely, like what his usage looked like this week, if his route share is still where we want it to be. But I think Likely is also kind of viable against the Jets. Let me actually look that up. But yeah, I think I've done it's a lot of matching with my quarterback. But there are some standouts in this range as well.
Yeah. Did hear some coach speak on the Ravens. Shout out to Greg in his Discord about getting D-Hop more involved. So something to think about a little bit there.
61% route participation for Isaiah Likely in week 11. That was his highest since their week 7 bye. So at least running the routes.
Yep. All right. What do you think, Greg? Any Galaxy Brain way down here that you like?
Colston Loveland, just with what we've seen from him, what we know his skill set to be against a Steelers team that hasn't been the best against tight ends. We saw a lot of tight end usage this past week, but it was split between Loveland and Cole Kmet, who got some pretty good coach speak from Ben Johnson, and put a seed in my brain of do I want to experiment with Cole Kmet this week against Pittsburgh? Yeah, and like you said, AJ Barner, really interesting one. Already has one push touchdown at the goal line this year. Has been getting some pretty nice usage. And if this is a game where Seattle is just kind of killing Tennessee on the ground, then we'll see some nice play action shots in that game for some big chunk gains. And certainly AJ Barner is one of the guys who could be involved there.
Yeah. 11 targets last week. And the coaches love him. I don't know. I don't know if we can go back to Hawkinson. I think he's bared us enough.
So slow out there.
Yeah.
He looks like he's grounded in molasses.
Yeah.
I played a lot last week, and I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can do it to myself again.
Yeah, we're chasing upside down here. And
what about Darnell Washington?
I mean, he's a beast. He's a man,
early boy.
I mean, that one play was super fun, but yeah, I mean, he could be targeted in the end zone. Let's see, 55% route participation last week. So he I can't figure out when they're going to play him, because there was in the Coachspeak Index there was some good intel on when they play.
Yeah, they play him against defenses that play 4-3, especially like 4-3 defenses who have really monstrous kind of edge players. What is the Bears? I'm not sure what the Bears run there.
Bears don't run much, man. They're a boom bust kind of defense. They fly to the ball. They're nothing. They're nothing. They don't blitz that much. They play very vanilla, and they try to blitz at weird spots to get you make mistakes.
Probably not a Darnell Washington spot.
Yeah,
probably. I mean, it could be. I just don't. They're not much of a. You don't have to really scheme. You can just line up and run your plays against them. Personally, but I think it's worth it if he's getting, the OC there. He loves just doing unique stuff, and without Rodgers isn't there, he could just have some kind of creative plays to get his guys out in space, because they're not a physically demanding team. The Bears aren't.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry.
What's the interest level in Chigakonkwo with all of their pass catchers
gone?
Now.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I did. I always write my games down, and I look through the research, and I just went like this to Tennessee. Don't draft any of them.
probably good practice there.
Yeah.
They're applied to score 13 points, and a game that we need to get top 3. I don't think we're going to see maybe one touchdown out of them if we're lucky.
Yeah.
So it's not worth chasing, in my opinion.
Yeah, seems unnecessary.
Yeah. All right, I think we said enough. We got some ideas in our mind. I would love to build a shipper with you guys and attack some of the fun game environments, or just team environments. They're going to score 3+ touchdowns. I want to throw ADP out the window. I want to throw it out the window. And I want to draft our best players right now, and hopefully we get a good position, and we go to Kansas City. What do you guys think?
Let's do it.
Yeah, sounds good. We're just doing one here.
We can do 2.
No. I mean, are just you're entering?
Only Math is entering. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, just want to make sure.
Yep. Waiting on 4.
Nice.
Is there an overlay on the market that will block out ADP for you?
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, you could use the sidekick to just put it over the ADP column, maybe.
Okay. Yeah.
Might do it.
Waiting on 1. All right, guys.
Ooh. All right, we're getting there.
Let's have some fun.
You got men's league. What time is men's league?
Going to be in here?
Oh, we're good. Men's league's not till 7. We're good.
Okay.
7
Crutches will be in here.
Oh,
Chad
yeah.
Candles will be in here. Patrick Barnes YouTube will be in here. FF Links is going to be in this room.
Yep. These are all good guesses.
Yeah.
Al Boogie, will he be in here? Might be.
Dan, was it Precianato or whatever?
Well, he's max.
He's maxed, right?
He's done. Yeah.
Shout out, Dan.
Thank God. Thank God we got him out of these rooms.
For real.
Yeah, A-Win out of the room.
I bet Nez will be in here.
Yeah, Nez has been pretty much
he's been in all of mine so far, I think. We've been like back to back on like 4 out of my 6.
Yeah, Lee might be in here.
There he is, back to back again with Nez. We're in the 5-hole.
Yeah. Charles.
Oh, we got Dark Sheep in here. Dave's
Chad.
in here.
We got Dave. We got G. It's gonna be wild. We're gonna get even wilder than GFC.
Mm-hmm.
I got to move this board so we can see everybody. Hang on one sec.
Dark Sheep.
Here comes the Kyle Pitts, Juwan Johnson build.
Yeah. Love it. All right, so we got the 5. The 5's a good spot. We'll have our choice of probably a running back or maybe St. Brown. We can have some fun with the Lions.
I was in so I did 2 drafts this morning, and Patrick Barnes YouTube. Is that I don't know if I should refer to him as Patrick Barnes YouTube or Patrick Barnes, Pat Barnes, whatever. I don't know him personally, but he went Amon Ra first round, JMO second round, Jared Goff 3rd round, David Montgomery I think like 5th round.
Ooh, just full on doing. We call that the math around here. Just targeting all the Lions.
I said yesterday in our chat, my perfect build is Gibbs, St. Brown, JMO, Goff, Montgomery.
Yeah, I do think it's kind of like try to get a lion in every draft if you can. You know,
how about 4 of them?
Yeah, if you can kind of layer that in, because they're applied to score the most points on the team here. And then you got Kansas City, Baltimore's right there too. So I'm trying to like see how to get like maybe some Detroit, Baltimore pairings. It's something I've been thinking about. Same thing with New England, Seattle.
A lot of big favorites this week.
Yeah, there's a lot of home dogs that are, really home dogs or home faves. Yeah. There's not many tight spreads. And if they are, they're low, they're kind of low game totals other than the Jacksonville, Arizona, the Indy KC game. And the Philly Dallas game. I like that game just because it's in the dome. I got a dome boner. All right, JSN, Barkley, Lamb. What do you guys want to do? Or Henry?
Happy to go Barkley.
I was gonna say I lean Saquon here.
Me too. Consensus.
Yes.
Go AZ Card says thought this was a Wednesday show, jumped in a random draft. I mean, we usually this is a Tuesday show. We just had to schedule it on Wednesdays, but we kind of like to be flexible for our guests in general with this show. So it's usually Tuesday or Wednesday afternoon, whenever it works for the guest. So yeah, but I set this one up late today, so we didn't get a lot of notice out to people on when we were doing it. Do we think there's any chance Chase beats his appeal?
No.
There's video of him spitting on him.
Yes. Yeah. Yes. There's.
I love how at first he just like flat out denied it, and then he was like, "If I really was spinning, like I didn't spit. If I did it, was spinning at him, it would have gone in his face."
Yeah, I thought that was a fake quote when I saw it. I was like, that has to be Centel, NFL Centel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Pretty stranded right now. Oh man, we got Lamar. That helps us.
Yeah, don't mind that. I mean, Lamar could. I think Lamar is a fine early round click. I think he could put up a lot of points on the Jets.
Neil,
But-
who was the running back that you were saying you kept hoping would come back to you in the second round?
Trevion.
It could happen here.
I mean, not where we are. That was from like the 8 and 9 spot.
Yeah.
I'd be shocked if he comes back to us at pick 20. There he goes.
Yeah. Dave's bummed. Dave would be like, "Oh, that'd be a hot start, Rice, Hendo." I'm sure there's a lot of those out there, but I'm not really going to be playing too much chicken back there. I'm going to just take Hendo in the first round, probably.
JGFC could have gone Higgins Hendo for the correlation.
Yeah.
JT or Gibbs. I think we're all on JT 101, but it's very close.
Yeah, very close. I don't want to be extremely overweight, but I don't want to have 0 JT. So
yeah. T at 12, we're getting loose here. I mean, it seems like it's fairly common. It sounds like.
Yeah, once projections come out, that he's going there. That's where he's going.
Yeah.
I think you're going to see the quarterbacks get pushed back and be more in that 2-3 turn. And you're going to see all these running backs, especially Hendo, get in the kind of the first round. You're going to see T because T's going to project really well, being the only man in town.
Yep.
He's got a huge size advantage over Gonzalez too. I mean, we just saw what Jake London did to him.
True.
Just throw it up high for 3 touchdowns. I had nice seats for that game. That was a fun watch. Oh, we're on the clock. Hurts, Brown, Olave, Jefferson. Pretty much. We could get our tight end if we want to do Warren.
I wouldn't mind Hurts or Olave.
I'm in the same
Warren.
boat.
Yeah.
Do Olave?
Sure.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm a little skeptic myself.
Of
Would
Hurts
you-
against else.
Would you have preferred ETN if he was available there?
Yeah, I think ETN would have been a fun click. But I don't mind, like we already kind of talked about, I don't mind some of these running backs that are going to be kind of available in the third round. I kind of want to leave that light on for Ken Walker, and maybe leave a light on for Gainwell sometimes if we can find that elite or like a ceiling wide receiver. I'm surprised to see J-Mo go so early. I was thinking J-Mo third round might have been kind of fun.
I just noticed that JGFC went Higgins and then Devonta Smith at the 1-2 turn, which I probably wouldn't have even suggested Hurts as somebody who likes stacking. Probably wouldn't have if I saw that Devonta Smith was on, because I was thinking that could be, we could match him up. That's I don't hate it. It's going to be unique. Higgins Smith.
Yeah. Yeah, May went a little early, so there's the 4 quarterbacks are still going early. I think again with more drafts later in the week, we're going to kind of see these guys push down a little bit. This was kind of like last week, same thing.
Yeah.
And then slowly we started seeing that Mahomes group all the way at the end of the third round, even in the 4th round. Wow, man, your boy Jefferson's really fallen, Neil.
I know. Rightfully so, unfortunately, I think. But
yeah. Third round Jefferson.
He doesn't have a single like good game that you really want this year.
We need Max Brosmer.
Yeah. God.
UNH kid.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah. University of New Hampshire. Good old New Englander. Man, Warren's here. Diggs is here.
I'd rather have Warren than Diggs, and then I guess like Kenneth Walker would be.
Yeah. I was kind of thinking that too.
Yeah. I think we got to do our boy Kenneth Walker.
I think so too. I think we're all on the same page there.
We got to throw it out. Balls on the table, boys.
Get your guy season.
Yeah,
Love it.
I kind of like some of the tight ends that are going to be available. Juwan Johnson. We could really do a double stack in that game if we think Shroud has anything to say, or we can still stack up some other guys if we wanted to. Dak's going to be available on that other side. We could probably do a little Dak Fergie to go along with Barkley if we want to play a little game environment.
Can Henry be king again against the Jets if ownership is low? I mean, ownership would be 100%, or drafted, never drafted in this contest. But I think he can be king again against the Jets.
What do you think his ownership will be in DFS?
I haven't looked at what his price tag is. That's a good question.
So I hear people talking about swaps all the time in reference to, I feel like sometimes in reference to Dawg Bowl. Is that a thing that you can do? I did not even know that. I looked for it before.
So any player with the Q tag right now, if they don't go, you get a swap. So you set your rankings, or or a go by off ADP, and it all depends on priority. So the first priority is the 1.12, and then it's like that reverse snake all the way down the draft board, and it goes down. You get someone with a Q tag, bang, they don't play. You get to move a player that is not in this draft board that's on your ranks, the highest priority of your ranks, then moves into that spot for you.
Okay, so it's not like a manual swap. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Underdog redrafts the whole entire slate and plugs players in for you.
That's cool.
Later. Yeah. You got to wait. Sometimes you got to wait like 30 plus minutes after the slate has started. Takes a little bit.
Unfortunately, you can't do it per draft. You can't for this draft, I want this player. It's all just based on your rankings. But and then it's to be clear, not just Q tags. It's anybody who's ruled out will be swapped.
Yeah. But if they have an out tag right now, you don't get a swap.
Okay. That was my next question. Could you draft Jamar Chase?
No. You could before the out tag, but now once the out tag is there, they have that red tag. You do not get a swap.
See, this is my favorite tight end range right here, personally.
Yeah.
I got my eye on one.
Curious here, what's your thought, Greg?
Well, if we didn't have Saquon, it would probably be Goddard. But very interested in Hunter Henry against Cincinnati.
Yeah, that's right.
I agree. Too. Let's do it.
Yeah,
I agree. We want the Barkley 250-yarders to the house type of game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
and then we want Kenneth Walker to do the same. And this lineup is cooking.
What are your thoughts on this? Better to draft Jacobs Q tag and swap to Wilson, or just go Wilson? Matt, I guess you have the most experience with swapping. Do you have an opinion there?
I think it's better to go Q tag game when there is a legit chance of them actually playing. But with this draft, with pretty much everyone knows that Jacob isn't going to play and Wilson's getting drafted, I don't think it's worth the Q tag with the Jacobs Q tag play right now with this environment. If Wilson's not going drafted, then it's probably fine. But I don't think he's playing. Just the history of that organization, how conservative they are with injuries. I think they're going to hold him out.
How do you feel about taking guys with a Q tag in the final round, say like a Tootin?
Yeah, I think that's fine to stay on the clock early in the year or early in the drafting window. I think that it's fine because things change. We always see news come Wednesday, Thursday, Friday that surprise us, and things open up, and you can play a fun angle there.
Does it? Let's say it was like a 2 running back, 2 receiver build. Does it automatically go to the next running back or the next running back / receiver?
So if you say you take Jacobs and Jacobs is your first running back,
mm-hmm.
you have to swap to a running back.
Okay.
So if you do take Jacobs, you want to do what JGFC did here, and he'd be your second. So you still could flex to a wide receiver. You have that decision of a running back or a wide receiver here.
Gotcha.
Interesting.
Same thing. If you
are we on the clock?
We are on the clock.
Yeah. Wilson, we can do something with Fergie. If we we already got it. No, so yeah, we are.
I think I would like Wilson, and then that gives us either Brissett or Trevor Lawrence later.
Yeah. I'll go with Wilson. Yeah.
Let's do it. I think he's going to get puppeted with targets again. I don't think Marvin Harrison Jr. is playing. So same thing. If your Q tag is wide receiver first, say Lamb has a Q tag and you take him first, like your swap automatically is a wide receiver.
It's good to know. The downside to playing the I generally like the Q tag in the 6th round if you think a player might actually play angle, but the only downside is you get like last priority for a swap. So like if you're thinking like, oh, I can swap to the best play later, it's like, well, actually and I don't remember the exact order, but it's like starts from the 12th pick in the 1st round and then goes to the and then the snake all the way. I forget how it works exactly.
So the even numbers. So 1.12 goes left. Okay. And then the 2.1 goes right this way. Gotcha. So if you are at the turn on the 5-6 turn, you want to take your Q tag here at 5.12 because then you get swap priority over all these guys from 5.11 all the way to 6.2.
That's sharp.
You get that priority over all those picks.
That's very good information to know.
Yeah.
And then same thing over here at the 4.5. You want to take them at the 4.12 versus the 5.1.
It's so weird. So weird the way that it's set up. I need to like draw a diagram of how the key.
That's what I did. That's what I did. And I've done it enough now that I know how to do it, but that's exactly what I did.
And there's a lot of Q tags this week.
Yeah. Yeah. So what are you guys thinking at QB? I think we're going to have, there's only 2 QBs that need to go off the board before us. And I doubt Brissett or T-Law will be there. So who do you think has the highest ceiling this week?
You're saying that's not either of those two?
Or that are those two? I'm thinking that's
two. Oh,
I think that's our click, right?
Yeah.
Quarterback, that's our last click.
I think I would prefer T-Law over Brissett.
I mean the correlation is better with Brissett because we don't actually have any Jaguars players, do we?
We don't, but we do have a bring back. Say that T-Law gets one on the ground, and then he spreads it out.
The bring back is just a much weaker correlation than like the straight up quarterback with your pass catcher. But
yeah,
I'm fine with it if you want to like bet on T-Law's rushing.
Well, he hasn't really hit. He's been like in the low 20s. Oh, T-Law goes.
Okay, all right.
Makes the decision for us.
That's easy.
Yeah,
I think Neil's probably right in this situation.
Thanks, yeah. Thanks, Charles.
Yeah, I'm generally like I don't go out of my way for just like the quarterback with the bring back unless I'm doing the quarterback with the stack first. Because it's a obvious correlation of just like a quarterback throws touchdown to the receiver, like you get big points from that. Whereas like the bring back, it's like there's some correlation there, but like I think Sims show like a lot of the time you don't even care about the bring back that much with your stacks because the correlation is there, but it's not especially strong. And especially because most people who have T-Law are going to have one of his pass catchers who are going to get that maximum correlation. It's just I don't know. I don't love just doing the quarterback with the bring back without the primary pass catcher also, but I don't know if that's right. That's kind of my feel for it.
You're probably right. What man, I think like McBride, Wilson, Jacoby stacks could be really fun this week.
Yeah, just run it back. That's what worked last week.
And then get a Jags bring back with like a Jacoby Myers or a Parker Washington or an ETN.
Yep. That game could separate. It's in a dome. It's high and tight, 47.5. Arizona's dogs at 2 by 2.5. So you can layer that game with another kind of high team total. Like if you get some Lions pieces, some Baltimore pieces with it, some New England pieces with it, that could be a pretty powerful build. Like one-offs. So what do you guys think? Want to try to get one more in us, or do we
do it?
We think we got the one and done. All right, let's do it. I got time.
The time.
After this one, though, I do have to head. Location area.
I will be furious if both of these get in and then Neil gets third and then I get a fourth.
Oh yeah, that would be rough.
we got to get Mathology back to the Dawg Bowl finals.
Everybody agrees we need math there.
Need them.
All right, waiting for 5. Yeah, it was pretty.
What? Tell us about that experience last year.
Oh, it was awesome. It was couldn't ask for a better time other than the weather. The weather kind of stunk for us. But
you had one bullet in there, or did you?
I punched early. I think it was like week 3. I got in. Well, that's my Dawg Bowl stuff. Week 3, I got in with like a Fields double. Was able to get home. I think I just moved Dave out, so that's kind of like my relationship with Dave started when I bumped him out. But then we became close friends kind of after that, just talking, rooting for each other. But yeah, it's the gamers, it's the guys that we draft every single week against each other and kind of get to know a little bit, and then kind of in that environment live, seeing everybody set up and how they're drafting, if they're listening to music or not, on the phone or not, and just talking about drafting was just so much fun. The night before, off and on o'clock, had us all kind of run through with like interviews, and we're at like the Underdog house, just fridge just full of drinks and booze and beers, and we just kind of stayed there the whole entire time after and just talking drafts. Just, hey, need 4 more for a fullback dive. I need 2 more for this contest, or a playoff best ball contest was going on at the same time. So we're all just kind of like in the lobby, but in person, talking shop, talking drafting, and it was just so much fun.
You guys are sickos. Just can't stop drafting. Even when you're like all hanging out together, it's still like, let's do drafts together.
Yeah.
That's fun.
Yeah.
They're at a concert all together. They got their phones up in the air with the rest of the crowd, but they have
You're on the clock. You're on the clock. I see it
on their phone.
Yeah. It was fun. And then, I mean, there's times where you get together with lunch or dinner, and we did the night after we all got together for a nice steak dinner, and just kind of hanging out, talking life. And
awesome.
That's where I sat down and talked a lot with Chad Maskey and Sam Olson, and Tyler was with me, and Dave, and there's the Crutches. There's just a great group of people that were just there to have fun, but also kind of supporting of one another. It was just a good time.
I just want to be there for the steak dinner. That's the only reason that I want to get in.
Yeah.
But yeah, hopefully we all can get there this week. The 3 of us. It'll be fun.
Yeah.
All right. We got another prime spot here, the 3-hole.
The dream.
Oh yeah, we'll be getting a pretty nice RB here.
Come on, JFC, do something silly. Give that 3. You guys want to do Bijan here?
Yeah.
All day. Yep.
All day. Yeah. I agree.
Man, he looked untouchable last week.
Yeah. Funny, he looked so bad in the first matchup with Carolina, and then just so good last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think with London not there, it's starting to become some must-win games for them to keep pace with the Bucs, that they're really going to have to lean into Bijan this week.
How are they so bad? Because it seems like they have a pretty elite defense. I know they're not great against the run, but like a fairly good defense, at least. Maybe I'm overrating it somewhat. And then they have so many stars on offense. It seems like they should be good, but they just can't put it together. I guess quarterback play is a big issue.
Yeah. It's such a formula for disaster when you have a quarterback who is highly inaccurate, and then you have pass catchers who are dropping the ball when he does place it on them. That's a recipe for for just true horror show. And then
Sounds like the Minnesota Vikings story right now.
yeah.
Sorry, go on.
And then the defense, like the pass rush has been good, but like people have been able to just like run up the gut on them over and over and over. Like after the Niners played them, like who hadn't been amazing on the ground, but like Shanahan said after the game, or like the Monday after the game, he was like, I told our guys the night before the game, we're going to run the ball 40 times tomorrow. And they ended up with 39 rushes against Atlanta. And just like, and we saw, several teams do that against them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. They're fast, but they're light. So you can really pound it.
Yeah.
Push them off the ball. So Greg, what's on tap for you? Are you going to be starting to sweat some of your best balls? Because you were in the streets in the summertime.
I was. Yeah. I was telling Neil before the show, the team that I drafted with him is currently advancing.
Nice
right now. Nice Tucker Kraft, George Kittle team.
No tight end in week 14.
Kittle came back at the right time.
Yeah. But his bye week's coming up. But you said we have some cushion, right?
Yeah, we're like 80 points clear right now, which I guess should be good enough to get there. Oh, we also have a Drake London on that team.
Okay.
Speedy recovery, Drake.
Yes,
please. The boys.
Yeah, we did double Rams, double Falcons receivers in that build.
Nice.
With Mooney, or what was the other?
It was Mooney, London, Puka, Devontae.
Nice.
That is fun.
Do you stack it up, or?
We had Stafford.
Drake May, I believe you said.
Did we? Let's see here.
Yeah, this is the fun part right here, is we can really start kind of looking in a little bit. I actually started looking into my BBM stuff, and I got some fun stuff that hopefully might really pop here.
You wait until now. I start looking at it week 1.
I don't know. I let the fantasy gods really start to smooth it over here, and I start looking about now.
Good for you. That's way more mature.
Yeah. Nothing. I'm not even gonna sniff the top leaderboard this year. I think my highest is like 5 or 15, like 30 or 15, 40.
We're on the clock if you didn't see.
I'm good. I'm a good 100 out. We got Olave again. We got Pickens, Warren.
I could definitely be into Pickens.
I'm kind of wide receiver here. You guys want to do JMO?
I'd
do JMO.
JMO.
Let's get your JMO.
Yeah.
We got to get a lion, right?
Mm-hmm.
Every draft, I'm told.
And all the unsportsmanlike flags and fines that are going to come out of this Lions game from their touchdown celebration.
I just want to see some humping of some air by JMO this weekend.
Yeah, got to. Somebody did who was it? Ty Johnson, I think, did a humping celebration that did not get flagged.
Oh, did it not?
Yeah, he did.
There were multiple faking it out, like pretending to hump, but then not actually doing a pump.
Well, he did the ground.
Hamstring. He did the hamstring grab, fall to the.
I did see that. That's
and then,
right.
Like the pound the ground twice while you hump it. Are we going Tyler Warren again here?
We could do Warren, and we could get our boy Walker here.
We went Walker last time.
Oh, we did go Walker.
I'd be fine with either.
Right. I'm
Chase Brown. You guys want to do Warren, Chase Brown, Walker? We could do Diggs.
Warren or Walker for me.
Same. Your call, man.
Let's say let's try to get on that game. Let's go Warren.
Nice.
What is Hollywood Brown's ADP? He's probably not getting drafted much, right?
He's probably not drafted, yeah.
Yeah, no, he's not drafted. He looked pretty good. He was getting open.
Yeah, got some targets.
Matt, you gonna eat dinner before men's league?
Light. We'll have a quick little light food, and then it's a elementary school gym, so it's not like a crazy workout.
Full court though.
Full court, yeah.
Okay. And then you eat more afterwards. Is that the plan?
Yeah, like a real light snack after, just like leftover chicken or something. I'll just heat up quick.
I see. You don't go out to the bar after. basketball?
Sometimes, not tonight though. Not
Okay.
tonight. But yeah, usually we sometimes have a pop and some popcorn at a local pub.
You do any sports, Greg?
I do not. I don't have like great lungs.
Okay.
Back when I was younger, it was fine. But no, I just go on like I walk like probably 30, 35 miles.
I've seen pictures of your walking and drafting. That's a lot of walking. 30 to 35 miles a week.
Nice.
Up to 5 miles a day. I think. Do we lose him? Is he frozen for you, Math?
He is frozen for me.
It's not just me.
Is that Meals bugging out there?
I just heard him sort of. Oh, he moved slightly, but he's still frozen.
How about now? Am I back now?
Back now.
I can hear you.
What the hell happened there? They're trying to censor me.
They are.
The internet doesn't want to let you know that I walk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love to walk.
5 miles a day. 5 miles a day on average. A lot of walking.
Do you have any pets, Greg, that you walk with, or is it yourself?
No, it's just me, and I'll watch the press conferences and take the notes and all that stuff. Every once in a while, if I'll do some drafts if it's like a Tuesday or a little bit slower, like Friday or Saturday or something like that.
Nice.
So do you like take notes on the press conferences as you're walking?
Yeah. Okay. I mean, like whether I'm walking or I'm at home, I'm watching the presser on YouTube, and then I have my notes app, and then it's like, picture in picture kind of thing, whatever. And then I'm just writing down the notes, copy, paste them into the Discord.
Nice.
Man, you're a legend for what you do, man. That's been such a big part of my process is kind of really focusing on that and getting on some early play, especially early in the week.
Thanks, man. I love to hear that. Yeah, it's helpful to me as well. Like, later in the week when I'm like, I'm pretty sure Shanahan said something about Ricky Pearsall the other day that was like not great as far as like expecting much in his first game back. Let me go back and look at that. Okay, yeah.
You can imagine it's huge for me with showdown stuff because like you get Coachspeak on like the wide receiver 4 or 5 like that.
Yes,
kind of stuff. Sometimes that's super useful. Yeah.
Helps so much with just like the ancillary guys. Like showdown or like prop bets or whatever. Yeah.
What are we thinking here? Ooh. You want to go DJ here or?
This is kind of a fall 4th round. Metcalf is a fall.
We can take him.
I guess we have quarterbacks taken between these picks. So
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Jones is going to be here for us.
Yep.
That's quite a good size fall. It's almost half a round fall.
Mm.
Yeah. When do the walking bets start? Pop that button open,
That's right.
No undershirt.
We get this. Maybe I'll get a V-neck and really build up the pectoral muscles.
Yeah.
Bust them out.
That'd be great. You should do it just for one day, just to get a laugh at everybody.
That would be funny.
Maybe I'll do waist down.
Ooh,
little flopping around.
Flopping bets. Yeah.
Yeah.
There might be an audience for that.
Some loose sweatpants.
Yeah. This we know the click here, right?
It's DJ, right?
Yeah. All day.
Beautiful. Man, this I was gonna say last one looked like a winner, but this one looks like the winner. The last one's probably second place.
Yeah.
All right, we can have some fun. We can have some fun. Either 1-1-3-1 or a 1-2-2-1. So let's try to go chase hunting here. Ceiling chasing hunting.
Yep.
For our last one.
Yeah, I think it's nice having the flexibility here of being able to, just choose your flex. You don't have to. We're not locked into a receiver. Oftentimes by here, I'm locked into a receiver in the 6th round. So
yeah, I like doing some of these builds like this throughout the week. I've been definitely 1-2-2-1 pilled quite a bit. Last week because we saw a flipping of rushing touchdowns. There's actually more rushing touchdowns on the main slate than there was passing touchdowns. We did see still quite a bit of 1-2-2-1s in the top 10. It was about 60%. Granted, all top 3 finishers were a 1-2-2-1 build. But I think with this slate a little bit, we could still get home with a 1-1-3-1 because we have an elite with Bijan. Say Bijan outscores all the running backs by like 7 points. And then we get the touchdowns right on the wide receiver position. We can get home.
Yeah, we'll have to see what's available. What would you think of, like, would you want to double stack DJ if there is a Alec Pierce here or something? Is that a direction you'd want to go, or you'd prefer the single stack Alec Pierce goes? So not an issue for this draft.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see Pierce in the 6th round much. I think a lot of people are kind of chasing that game.
Yeah. He was supposed to be your guy. He used to be just the math special.
Yeah. I mean, Harmon came out in reception perception and gave him a ton of love and social. Yeah. And I was like, Harmon, keep that one quiet for us D-gens drafting Dawg Bowl. But yeah, he's a good player.
Yeah.
He's got a great role. There goes Gainwell, Buster Boys. Yeah, Chad's in here. We got another dark sheet. Our friend Matt. He was our first guest to start the season. He's been he's definitely trying to get back this week. I've been seeing him in a lot more rooms.
Yes, he doesn't have a ticket yet this year, does he?
No, not yet. Charles does. Charles is the only one in here that has one.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Jewish McCaffrey doesn't either, right?
No. Yeah, he was. I had a lot of fun with him too. He's fun. He's got a lot of dry humor. Got some great one-liners.
It'll be a fun group. Just knowing the people that are already there for this year, it's going to be fun as well.
Yeah, there's a lot. I mean, we have a lot in common. We love drafting 12-mans, and we love the NFL. It's easy to spark up conversations. You know.
Do you think this one fills up on Friday?
Well, if it's at 30, if it's roughly 30% by Wednesday midday, I would say yes, to be close. Friday, definitely Saturday. It's been how it's been tracking.
Have any of them not filled up?
No, every single one of them has been. We've only had one Dawg Bowl slate that's made it to Sunday morning.
Oh, wow.
And I think that was 2 weeks ago. The week that Crutches got in, that one made it to like Sunday morning at like 8 or 9 a.m. and it filled.
I would like to correct the record that Chad Candles does have a ticket this year also. So we've got a couple.
That's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, Chad. Oh, Chad and Charles. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yep.
They both got in. Yep. Yeah, Chad's awesome.
Can we see the running backs and wide receivers, I guess? But
BTJ, Jordan Addison, our boy Watson.
Sharps is there.
Yeah, Sharps is interesting. Luther Burden as a bring back on DK Metcalf.
I don't hate that either. Yeah.
Let's do Burden. That sounds fun. Burden. Luther.
Oh, did he go?
You can stay on the clock. Where is
I think he must have gone, right?
I don't know.
His name wasn't even coming up. It's like blacked out when.
Oh, there he is. Well, we stayed on the clock with BTJ, so we can make a swap. Right.
And it'll be swapped to whoever your top running back or receiver is there. So that's good.
Yeah, my bad. My
all good.
My fingers not so good today.
Got the arthritis. We're getting old.
We are. We got men's hoop tonight. We're gonna fill it up though once we get loose. It just takes a while to get going.
Is that right?
Are you a sharpshooter? What's your game? Yeah.
I used to be a slasher back in the day. Claimed to fame. We won the state title back in 2001 in New Hampshire. Second largest division. I used to, it was more of before all the weight I put on, I used to be really quick and fast. So I'd be weighing up, kind of beating everybody down court, either with the ball or through the air, just throw it deep and I'll go get it and lay it up.
Nice. Hell yeah.
Bunch of damn athletes in here.
That's
yeah.
right.
It's fun. Very fun. Very fun draft. We want to shout out some of these boards, or do you think we said it all and let the people get to their loved ones and back to the lobbies to draft these beautiful dog bowls?
Yeah, I got nothing more to add, I think, on the board. Do you guys see anything interesting you want to shout out?
I mean, the 3-hole is looking pretty nice. Whoever
that's a sweet team.
We got alphas that love to score touchdowns, and we got to swap if we want, but maybe Brian Thomas says, you know what? I'm going to show out this week and get us 2 touchdowns.
11-hole, pretty interesting team there.
Yep. Buster Boys with ETN, Jackson, Lamar stack, gets Rome, Gainwell, and Pitts. That's a nice team.
Yeah.
I like the Gainwell pick.
Gainwell,
very strong.
Yeah.
Yeah. Charles agrees. 103.
Yeah.
Gonna get us in.
103, Charles. All right. Shout out, Charles. You got the king himself with J. Will, Jackson Dart, stacked it up with a Robinson and doubled it with Theo, and then you got Mooney. That should condense in. It's a good team.
Oh yeah,
job, Charles. And then our boy done. Chad in the chat, Lamb, Higgins, Brown. So he's got a Cincinnati double, Lamb, Kelsey, Tracy, Flacco. So he's got a double Cincinnati. That's nice. I like that. Nice job, Chad.
Very nice.
Very nice. Well, best of luck, guys. This week, we are not going to step on any landmines because we are going to ship this week 12. Greg, really appreciate what you do. I love going to your Discord, and I love reading all your hard work. So I really appreciate what you do. And Neil, you're the best. Send us off.
Yeah, I mean, they say that all dogs go to Kansas City, and we don't yet have a ticket to Kansas City. So that's how I know that the 3 of us are all getting in this week because, again, we are some dogs, and all dogs are going to go to Kansas City. But everybody, thank you for joining us in chat and in the drafts throughout this Dawg Bowl season. I guess this is the end of Dawg Bowl season. I'm guessing that Math and I will be back doing maybe some playoff best ball next week. We'll talk about what we want to do post Dawg Bowl. I know that Math has some other plans post Dawg Bowl that we'll talk about as well. But it's been a lot of fun doing these Dawg Bowl drafts. Hopefully we can get home this week. Good luck to everybody, and we'll be back next week